Hi, everybody. This is Carla with Builderall Digital Marketing Solutions. I'm so glad you joined me for today's tutorial, creating campaigns and sequences in Mailing Boss. Mailing Boss is Builderall's email automation tool. Now, Builderall's developers are really amazing and really adept at creating the things that their users want. And I'm sure I'm not the only one who wants more hours in the day. The Builderall developers haven't figured out to give us more hours in the day, but with this tool, they allow us to make the most out of the hours that we have by being able to pre-compose and schedule emails to go out to our customers and our subscribers. At the end of this tutorial, you're going to understand the difference between campaigns and sequences in Mailing Boss. You're going to know the three different scheduling options that we have within Mailing Boss and the ways that this feature can allow you to market more effectively to the people who are on your email list, also your subscribers. Let's just go ahead and jump into Mailing Boss right now through the Builderall back office. There we go. And into Mailing Boss. We came into Mailing Boss in a project that I was working on, and your screen will likely not look like this if it's your first time. So let me get to the Mailing Boss homepage by clicking this open envelope right here. And this is what your screen will probably look like if you're just signing into Mailing Boss the first time. If this is your first time, I want to give you a really quick overview. This menu bar here allows you to access your subscribers and access information about them, access your lists and modify them, and edit the information within them, to see your campaigns, and within campaigns, your sequences, and also to see your workflows. I'm not going to give too much time and attention to anything on this page today except for campaigns, because all of that stuff is covered in other tutorials, okay? I'm going to take a moment right now to define campaigns and sequences for you. In Mailing Boss, a campaign is a single email, and a sequence is a series of emails. Now, I'm going to say that one more time, just in case you're just trying to familiarize yourself with the terminology. A campaign is a single email. A sequence is a series of emails. Now, we're going to create both in this tutorial. I'm just going to call this a test campaign, and I'm going to associate it with a list. I have a new list here that doesn't have much going on, so I'm going to go ahead and use that. I'm not using a list with subscribers because I don't want to accidentally send this one yet. It's not going to be ready to go by the end of this tutorial. With this campaign, you can see now that I get the option to, I could rename it if I wanted to, but I can also see the name. I can see what list it's affiliated with, and I can see different segments. If I wanted to add different components to my list, I could, or if I wanted to associate this campaign with other lists. For example, if this is an email announcing a new service that I'm going to offer or a new product that I'm about to be premiering, and I want to send it to not just my Tower Garden list, but perhaps I want to send it to other lists that have affiliate marketers on. Tower Garden is a product that is a vertical aeroponic gardening system that I'm an affiliate for. So let's say that I'm going to promote a new product that's being premiered, and I want to send it to Tower Garden and also my Builderall list, because I know that there are affiliate marketers on those lists as well. I could click down here and choose the list that I want to associate with, but I'm not going to do that today. I also have the option to choose what type of an email that I'm going to send out. I can choose a regular broadcast email, which is an email that goes out at a set time according to parameters that I set, but it goes out at the same on the same schedule every single day, month, year, whatever. Probably more often than yearly, but perhaps not. Um, and this email will go out. Let's say, for example, that I set the email to go out every Monday at noon. That email will go out every Monday at noon. And if somebody subscribes to my list on a Monday at 1 p.m., they will not receive the email that goes out Monday at noon for that week. They'll miss it. Okay. An autoresponder is exactly what it sounds like. This is an email that can go out in response to an action that your subscriber takes, whether it's them joining the list or them clicking an email campaign or them clicking a link within your campaign. So this is a really fantastic tool because you can use the autoresponder method. For example, if you send a message to your subscribers saying, oh, I have this new e-course that's going to be premiered in 2 weeks. For this, click more for more information, and they click more. This email may also go out and say, oh, I see you're interested in e-courses, so you may want to also check out this other menu of e-course options that I have, whatever. Okay. And email automation, which is the feature that I use the most often in Builderall. And I dare say it will probably be the feature you use the most often too, but I'm not going to bet on that. I'm just going to suggest it. With email automation, this will send emails out to your subscribers relevant to when they subscribe to your list. So for example, rather than sending an email every Monday at noon, I will send an email on the day that a person subscribes to my list. Maybe I'll send another email 3 days after they subscribe. Maybe they'll get another email 1 week after they subscribe. And whether that person joins my list on December 1st or on July 15th, they'll still get that same email on day 0. They'll all get the same email on the 3rd day after they join my list, and they'll all get the same email on day 7 after they join my list. Okay, does that make sense? Now, all of these have a lot of valuable marketing potential within them. The email automation allowing you to pre-compose and schedule emails to go out to everybody so that you know that all of the subscribers to your list have basic certain information, but yet the email autoresponder, as I mentioned, allows you to interact with your clients as they click links or as they're responding to your campaigns that you're sending out. The regular broadcast email is a really great way for you to have regular engagement with your customers and your clients. They know they can count on an email from you every Monday at noon. If they're eagerly awaiting that, they know that at 11:55 they should be checking their email because in 5 minutes it's going to be there. It's also a great way for you to promote one-time things or time-limited offers or products or something like that. And with this, with all of these, you can send across your various lists that you have. So I'm going to send this one as an email automation because I'm going to make it part of a sequence at some point. Okay, so I'm going to click automation. This sequence is a feature I don't really use, but it's a nice feature to have because it allows you to, if I were to click on a sequence here, it would automatically copy all of the emails already in that sequence to this email, it would to this campaign, and it would create another sequence that incorporates this campaign. And it's very nice to have that feature if you have a lot of lists where the emails are the same or pretty close to the same, but there are a few things that are unique to the list. For example, you can see here, I have 3 different Builderall lists, one for the 1 month subscription trial, one for the 2-week trial, and one for the Builderall Premium. And within those, I have a welcome email, I have a first day email, I have a second day email, and some of the emails are exactly the same. Some of them are similar. For some of my subscribers, maybe they get, for my premium subscribers, for example, they get more downloads in some of their emails. So can, I could incorporate them all in that same sequence really and just modify individual emails. But like I said, I don't use that feature very often. It's there if you want it. I'm going to go ahead and save and edit now. And now I'm in my email. So now what within this, you can look and see that you have a a menu bar here on a customization bar here on the right that allows you to do quite a few things. You can add a header to your email. Okay. You can, and I'm just going to call this, I apologize. I live with multiple sclerosis and have tremors and dexterity issues that sometimes make it hard for me to click and drag. So if you see me struggling, that's not something you're likely to experience when you use this program, unless you have dexterity issues like me. I'm just going to call this test, and I'm going to say hi. See what I mean about that dexterity thing? Got to stay right in the box. And then I'm just going to go ahead and start typing, and it erases the the placeholder text, or what they call the lorem ipsum text, or the dummy text. And then I'm going to put a command in here. Now, if you don't know coding, don't worry about that. Okay. I just was able to type the command because I have it memorized. I also don't do coding. If that impressed you, I am also impressed that I know it. So, but if you're a coder, you're like, whatever, I feel you. The other way that you can get your tags in here, and I'm gonna tell you what that is in a minute, is that you can just come down here and you can see if you can click this available tags link, and you can see all the different tags that you can use within this email. Okay. And these tags are based on the tags that you set up in your list. So if you haven't seen the list tutorial, either mine or someone else's, then I really encourage you to watch one of those, because it does talk about the value of tags. And you set up the tags when you set up the fields in your list, and you'll see here this first name, and you see this no. When I go back and adjust my list, I'll make that a yes. Okay. I'm not going to go into too much detail there, but by making a field for first names in your list and by making it mandatory, you ensure that you capture your subscribers' first names. And for me, that's essential, because I want my emails to be personal to my subscribers. I don't want to just be like, well, hello, with no name. I love getting emails that say, hi, Carla, thanks for joining this list. And I want to give my subscribers the same respect. So I use this first name command, or this first name tag, if you will. And then I'm just going to say, welcome. I guess I should capitalize and use grammar. Welcome to my test campaign. This is a demo. Okay, you type whatever information you want in there. Now, you have a lot of options on this feature menu right here. You can add an image if you want to. You can add a button. With this button, really what that is that's a way for you to add a file to your email. And you do that just by putting in the button, and you can name it if you want to. I'm going to call this Tower Garden Benefits. And you put the URL for the file that you want to share. Let me take a moment I'm going to stop sharing and look at you for a moment to say this, because I want to make sure that you understand clearly that you cannot attach a file like a Word document to a Mailing Boss campaign. And I just checked the other day, it's not a feature that they are looking at adding right now. But what you can do is you can save that file in Google Drive or in a third-party cloud type app, and you can then capture the link for that and come right back in here into Mailing Balls and put the link in this link feature, in this link box. Now, the other thing that you can do is you can change the color of your button, whatever you want it to be. If you have a logo and you've got a brand and you want to really make sure that your brand colors come through in your email, you have the opportunity to do that here. And you can also adjust the font of your letter, the color of the font of your email, if you wanted to maybe have black font with this pretty minty green. Well, that green will just never show up, so let's get a different color. Let's make that black. You can see what it looks like. You can't bold. This is not a word processing. It's not a dynamic text editor, so you don't have all of those options, but you can adjust the position of your box to the left, to the middle, to the right, or somewhere in between. If I wanted to put it here, I'm sorry, if I wanted to drag it, oh, no, not this one. I can drag the size of my box bigger and smaller, but within the positioning, you have the options of left, middle, and right. Okay. Now, with that said, I'm going to go ahead and put that back down in the, well, no, I'll leave it there for now. Whatever. Let's say that I said a little bit and then I wanted to incorporate a photograph and some more text. I could do that by bringing over this photograph and text box, but please note that they are not customizable beyond being able to change the content. I can't change the positioning of the box from the left to the right. I can change the size of the box. I can load an image simply by using traditional form, clicking the load image, picking an image that you want to load in and putting it in here. That's a huge image. I don't necessarily want it to be that big. I can adjust that by typing in the numbers that represent the size I want. That looks a little bit better, like that more. So, but notice that even though I adjusted the size of the image, I don't have any more room for my text. It just means that my picture is a little bit smaller. It doesn't overwhelm the page, but I still have this space right here to contend with. And so just keep that in mind. You're not going to be able to adjust the available space for your text or for your photograph, okay? If you decide you don't like something and you don't like where it is and you want to place it in a different place, you can just grab and drag and move your component down, up, down, wherever you want it to be, or you can delete it by clicking the X. Now I'm going to get rid of this lorem ipsum text so that when I save this, the program won't tell me it's in there. Test document, update before sending. Let's just say that. And then I'm going to come down here to the bottom of the document and I'm going to save. I'm going to click save and next. Now, if you want to, you can use just plain text, which won't allow you to have any links or anything like that. And that will make your email a little bit more friendly for people whose email platform doesn't allow them to receive links. Maybe they've got their filter set up a particular way where they can't receive links or downloads or that type of thing. I'm going to go ahead and click the save and next, and you'll see that now I have the option to figure out, to determine where my email is coming from, what response email address I want to use. If I want to use a no reply to because I don't want them to email me back, and also I can choose my sender email and who I'm emailing this to. Now, this is going to go automatically to email in these brackets. And that is the command that says, use the email that the subscriber provided. That's the tag that is in the list. Now we're just going to go ahead and save that. It says I have a couple of errors. Whoops, I forgot to put a title. I'm just going to put, a subject line. I'm just going to put first email here as a subject line, and then go ahead and save. It's going to ask me when I want to send it. Let's just go ahead and say we're going to activate it whenever. Let's say I want to send a test email just to make sure my email is going to go out. I'm going to just type this to my personal email address and send a test. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop into Chrome. I'm in Chrome. Some days, y'all, I don't dye my hair this color. I'm just saying. And what I'm going to hope to see is that I got a test email from Tower Garden, which I did. And if I wanted to, if I had put a link in there, I could click in here and test the link that way, but I didn't. I'm going to come back into Mailing Boss, and I'm going to go ahead and save and activate. Now you see I have this test campaign here. I'm sorry, I have this campaign, and you see this options. I can do an overview, which will give me the statistics for my campaign, which include an open rate, the click rate, the bounce rate, and the unsubscribe rate. All of this is super valuable when you're looking at email marketing and what's working with your email marketing campaigns. If you're sending an email every day and everybody's or some people are opening your email, but nobody's clicking on the links, or nobody's opening your email. If nobody's opening your email, perhaps it's the time of the day you're sending it, or perhaps it's your subject line. You're just not catching their attention somehow. If they're opening the email, but they're not clicking on the links, you may want, the other thing is that the open rate might also be that they're not actually seeing it because it's going into the spam folder. Now that's valuable because if you've got a whole lot of links in your email, whether they're in the text part, especially if they're in the text part, then the spam read or the spam filter in their email platform may be reading your email as spam, and they may not be seeing it. So that's something to consider. Let's say that they are seeing it, they are opening it, but they're not clicking on the links. That might be related to your verbiage. It might be that you're not sending stuff that's interesting. It may be that the that the link isn't set up correctly, and so you're not seeing the link isn't, it's just not set up and it's not working. You can also see if your emails are bouncing. You should not get too many bounced emails if you use a double opt-in with your list, because they have to confirm their email. But every now and again, maybe people will close their email address, or their email will get full and they aren't aware that their email is bouncing. And you can also see who's unsubscribing from your lists. Okay. Now, not necessarily unsubscribing for your list, but they unsubscribe from the email. So they would unsubscribe from the list, but you would see whether they unsubscribe based on this email, because every email has an unsubscribe feature. Okay. You can look at all the emails that you've sent in a particular sequence. You can see how many confirmed deliveries you've had, what errors you may have had, and the percentage of errors you have with the emails that you send. So if you're sending 10 emails and you have 100% errors, you've got a problem, y'all. Go back into your email sequence and see what's going on. Fix that and get your emails right. Okay. Builderall makes it really easy for you to see where the challenge is if you're willing to look at the statistics page. If you're not a numbers person, if you're really kind of intimidated by all the analytical information, you know what? Just look at it with no, try to put your fear aside for a minute and just look at what all of this is, because it's very self-explanatory, and you can really get valuable information from this. You can also see that you can pause sending an update. So here's the thing. If you're sending a single campaign and you want to update it, you can't update it while it's being sent out. If right now I wanted to change my email, and just by the fact of Murphy's Law, somebody was trying to subscribe and to my list, and this email is trying to go out to them, it can't go out while it's in the editing process. So you have to pause the sending and you have to go back into the update feature. Okay. Now, we looked at our email campaign, and what we're going to do now is we're going to send a sequence. We're going to set up a sequence of emails to go out to our subscribers. Okay. And that email is still paused. I'm going to leave it on pause because I don't want to send it out anyway. But what I'm going to do is just confirm what I think is true here. Okay. Now what I have is I'm looking at all of my email campaigns that go out right now, that are set up to go out right now. And I am going to create a new campaign by clicking create new. If I wanted to manage my campaigns, I could do that just by clicking manage campaigns, and it would allow me to manage the individual emails within my campaigns. Okay, you can see I have a couple of test campaigns here. Those are what you'll see is the most recent campaigns you've created at the top of the list, and the campaigns that were created the for the longest will be further in your list. I've got 4 pages of lists, so we're just not going to even belabor that point. But I'm going to go to manage sequences again, and I'm going to go to create new. And it's going to take me through the same process that I went through with my campaign, because every sequence starts with a campaign. I'm going to create a sequence called Path to Empowerment, and I'm going to associate it with my list called Path to Empowerment. And this is going to be a list for an e-course that I am sending out. Now, you can see here that I can either send to future subscribers or current and future subscribers. Now, let's look at why maybe I want to do that. I'm calling this Path to Empowerment, but let's say that I was calling this going from impossible to I'm possible. Okay. And I associated it with this Path to Empowerment list. And I wanted to send it to my future and current subscribers. The reason I would do that is because I might be sending out this. Going from impossible to I'm possible is another course that I have. And maybe I want to send that course to this list to cross promote. Okay. So that's where it might be beneficial for you to send to your current and future subscribers. Okay. Just going to go ahead, and I'll leave the title the same. I'm going to go ahead now and sequence my emails. Now, when we get into this, the email editor looks very much the same, but you'll see that I have this sequence box up here. And this is one of the places that I can choose when to send this email out relative to when my subscribers joined. So let's just do a couple of things here. I'm going to call this going from And then I'm just going to say welcome. And then I'm going to use their first name. Okay. And then, then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put the header like I did before. All of this will be the same as we did when we were creating the campaign. Let's see, I'm just going to say, look at what you can do. Let's just say that. And then I'm just going to create some anything is possible text. Just I'm typing and it's not even in the box. Anything is possible text just as a placeholder. Is possible if you set your mind to it and follow it. Action, and then exclamation point. And then I am going to decide when I want this to go out. Now it says send to future subscribers. I can send it to current and future subscribers if I want to. Now it's being sent as an autoresponder event. Let's just send this to, I want it to go at 0, like as soon as they subscribe. So I'm going to say it 0 days, the same as subscription. Okay. Autoresponder send hour, the same as subscription. I'm going to go ahead and save that. Now, it didn't save my text because I didn't click done. So that was a very good lesson. And I almost did. I don't know if y'all saw me. I came down here and almost clicked done, which functions as save, but I didn't. So this is your welcome to the possibility of your life. I don't remember what I said before. And I put in a little headline here. Drag and drop the headline here. And I just say going. Here it is. Luckily, Mailing Boss, once you type something and save it, it will save it for you, and it will allow you to pull it up when in other sequences as well, actually. And welcome. Spelling is not necessary, but it's a helpful feature to have. Welcome to the possibility. Your life. Welcome to the possibilities. Good enough for me. I'm trying to wordsmith it while I'm doing this, and whoo, that's not working. All right. Let's go ahead and click done, which functions as save. And then let's add an email to the sequence. Now you can see that we have this welcome to the possibilities email, the campaign name going from impossible to I'm possible. I'm going to call this second and then I'm going to say all things are possible if you If you can dream it and take action, you can create it. Let's just say, and then let's say this time I'm going to say, oh, that's what I put as the welcome. I'm going to just say hi. First name. And then I'm going to start sending some text. I can just type whatever I want in here. And then I'm going to click save. Okay. And then I'm going to decide that I want that to go out on maybe 3 days after they've subscribed to the list. And I'm going to save the changes. Okay, now we have 2 emails in our sequence. And once you've got 2, you know how to make 3, 4, 100, and 200. And the nice thing about email automation is that once you've set up the automation, really you only need the first couple of emails as long as you are willing to be diligent about making sure that you stay on top of it. And as long as your emails are timed in such a way that maybe you send the first 5 emails, you pre-compose those, and then before those go out, you send the next series of emails and you schedule those, then you'll always be ahead of the game with your emails, right? Okay, now let's go back to these campaign. Let's go look at our sequence for a minute because I want to show you something. Remember before I said that I wanted to send these as a sequence, but you can see that this is set as an auto response, right? So what I want to do here is I want to come down here into the update campaign, and I'm going to come to type of email, and I'm going to click down to automation, and I'm going to click on save and next. It's going to take me through the whole email editing process in case I want to change the body of the email or add some links or something like that. And then it's going to give me the option, when do I want to start sending my email? I'm just going to go ahead right now and click save and activate because I'm going to tell you all something. Now look, I'm going to come here and manage. I want to go to manage sequences for a minute because I want you to see something. I'm going to click into, now that I'm in the sequence I want to work with, I have the option to choose to edit a single email within or a campaign within the sequence, or to edit the sequence itself. I can also update the sequence, and I can also get a report on the sequence to see what's happening with the emails. I could also copy or send this sequence to another account. So for example, if I was working with another coach and I wanted to send them this email sequence so that they could market their own product, then I could send it to them. But they'd have to have Builderall for it to work. I'm just going to go into this email editor real quick and see and show you 2 things that are really important. Okay, you see this pause right here? This is the email that I said, go ahead, let's just go ahead and activate that so I can show you something. And you can see that it's activated because it says pause. Okay, this other email down here, that's the second email in the sequence. See where it says activate? If I don't click that and activate it, it will sit in draft format and never go out. Even if all the emails around it go out, this one will not go out unless I activate it. So you got to click activate to get your email activated. Okay. And if I don't want it active anymore, I can come in here and click that and it will pause. Okay. Now I'm just going to go ahead because I know everything is saved, but I'm going to go ahead and save it as just a matter of good form so that I'm not saying to you, do as I say, not as I do. I'm gonna come back here to the email sequence because I want to make sure that the things are the way I want them. This email is set for automation, but the second email in the campaign is still set for autoresponder. So I'm going to update that campaign by clicking the campaign, coming back to type, popping down to autoresponder, and just going ahead and going through the save process and the save and next process. I'm back in the email editor, and the reason that you see a highlight up here is because it's letting you know that if I change anything in this email, the information that changes in this email will make what the people who have already received this email get and what the people who receive it in the future see two different emails. Okay. Not a big deal for me, because it allows me to keep my documents fluid. It allows me to make sure that this is one way that I can ensure that the same people who get the people who get my emails in 5 years or 5 years after I start the list are still getting relevant information, right? I don't want to have old links in there. I don't want to have, if I have links to features that maybe are no longer available, then that's not any good for my subscribers. This allows me to go in here and update my campaign and make sure that the information is still relevant. And now it tells me, it asks me what time I want to start sending my email. I can choose to send a test email if I want to. And that, my friends, is how we create emails and sequences in Mailing Boss, okay? Just by going through the process and following the prompts. I want to take a minute to remind you that Mailing Boss makes it super easy for you to approach the same task from a couple of different perspectives. So you can update your campaign within the campaign or within the email sequence. You have two options there. And you can also update your campaigns and your sequences in the workflow area. So if you don't know much about workflows, if you want to learn more about that, definitely check out a tutorial either from me or from another member of the Builderall team. But in the meantime, I hope that this helps you get set up with your emails and your sequences so that you're outreaching to your subscribers. I look forward to seeing what you build with Builderall, and I look forward to seeing you in the next tutorial. Take care and be well in all ways.